Hi, my name is Justin James, and this is my Ableton Live 9 training tutorial video. This is to hopefully get me certified as a Ableton 9 certified instructor, as I was an Ableton 8 one. What I'm going to do over the next period of time is I'm going to show you what I know are the new elements to Live 9 and how they can kind of be used in the creation of music. So my first step that I'm going to show you guys today is the new ability to create to convert audio to Midi. So in this case right here, I have two samples. One is a drum bass sample right here. And the other one is a synthy perky type sample like this. Okay, and what I'm going to show you what we can do with this is we always had the ability to slice to MIDI, but never to the beauty that you can with Live 9 here. So this obviously these drums you can hear in the drums. There's a kick drum, there's a hi-hats, there's a snare going on, and some shakers and whatnot. And so what I can do now is on a right click, we can go over here and you can see that there's these three new options: convert harmony to new MIDI track, convert melody, and convert drums to new MIDI track. In this case, what we're going to do is convert drums to a new MIDI track. So what I did there was converted those drums, and what Live has done intuitively is it's analyzed this audio down here and it has turned it into taken all of those notes, all those percussive hits, excuse me, and have loaded them in as MIDI notes. As you can see, what Live has done is it's chosen, for this case, their 606 kit drum rack, and it's filled with all these samples, and somehow someone way smarter than me figured out how to do this. And as a result, these drums were now analyzed and loaded into this kit right here to sound like this. And obviously you could hear that there is a difference between these two because they're using different instruments. In this case, sounds more 909E, maybe 808E, and in this case it's loading a 606. But all these samples could be swapped out, and you could hot swap out the entire drum rack if you want. Or what you can do is you can just swap out the individual samples. Okay? And it's pretty amazing. And then from here as well, you can rearrange all your MIDI notes to wherever you want them to go. And so it's kind of, it starts and it's just unbelievable the ability to give you to get inspired. Okay? And on this side here, as I showed, we have little perky synth type situation like that. And same thing in this case, I'm going to right click. And in this case, what I'm going to do, instead of converting the drums, I'm going to go with convert the melody. So it's going to take the melody of this track and bounce it out into its own set of MIDI notes. So it analyzes what notes are being hit, and again, massively intuitively, ends up with something like this. So you can see our MIDI notes there. Okay, and so now this sample that sounded like this ends up sounding like this. And you can see what happened here is Live has selected this sample, this synth analog in order to work with here, and a little drum rack kind of built around this. Actually, it's looks like analog and electric, and there are the devices involved there, you know, and then what we can do from here is we have some brand new elements here. And we actually have the beauty that we could layer these two together if we chose to create something kind of interesting. And somewhere in there, maybe we'll find something kind of interesting. I'm not too crazy about that right now, but it kind of proves my point. And over here, there's a couple things to show you as well in the MIDI side of things. You have some options here just with these notes. What you can do is you can invert those notes. And when you invert, you click this button. And what it's going to do is going to take the low to high, go from high to low, low to high. So now you're going to create, again, I'll just leave this off. You're going to create something a little different. So maybe you can find that useful. And the other one is reversing the notes. So it's going to take the notes and plop them around backwards. And as a result, and maybe you could find that useful. And lastly, we have, actually we're going to bring these back around. I'm going to reverse them again. And we have legato. And legato, what it's going to do, it's going to attach the notes together so there's no gaps in between them. So you can see as I hit this, it's basically to carry the note to the next note, and so on and so forth. And we can add something together. And as you can see quite quickly, ideas can start flowing. The next great addition to Live 9 is its reworked browser window. And as you can see over here in our browser window, I'm going to lower this a little bit, so you can see what we have going on here. It's much more neatly organized than before. You can see here that Live is organized by sound, by drum, by instruments, by audio effects, and by MIDI effects. And these would all be elements that are native to Ableton Live, and including the brand new Max for Live window here, which gives you the ability to find all your Max effects, audio effects, MIDI effects, and instrument devices, and they're all in one spot instead of hidden inside your instrument rack, or your instrument folders, your MIDI effect folders, and your audio effect folders as before. So really nicely laid out here. And another beauty about the browser window, it gives you the ability to preview any sounds that you'd like. So you can go through here and let's see what this sounds like. Keep getting followed by that same sound. Let's see if I can find something else. There we go. And your drums can be, your drum kits can be sampled here. And the instruments, we can go into Operator, find a preset inside Operator, and see what it sounds like. So now you have the quicker ability to know what you're working with directly, and it's beautiful to be able to audition your sounds that way, not just samples, but also synths and or instrument devices. You can see here as well we have your plugins. So any third-party plugins, I got a bunch there, and then just simple audio clips that you've dealt with. So let's see here. And other samples that you may have worked with at some point.
Whoa, I'm good.
As I've told you before,
okay, and then down here, this is different places. So this is kind of where you can point to different other folders in your workspace. And I just think it's a beautiful way to navigate through Live, and something that is really welcoming with Live 9. Another beautiful addition to Live 9 is the ability to work with clip automation in session view. We've all been used to automating in arrangement view, but to be able to do it in session view brings up so many more possibilities for creativity. So I'm going to show you how one way to use it. We're going to use the same loop here, and with this little percussive-y synthy type thing. And before, if I wanted to do any real kind of filter sweeps or whatever, I'd have to have it already kind of figured out inside or worked with here, and then I could do this work inside of arrangement. But now I have the ability now to let's say I want to load this auto filter onto here. Now auto filter is sitting inside of this individual track right here, and obviously it's playing now, right? But the autofilter isn't doing too much work as of now. But we can go in here into the envelopes window and find the autofilter. This is one way to do it. We could turn some knobs too, but in this case we're going to create some breakpoints and draw it in. And we're going to work with the frequency here. And what I'm going to do is create a breakpoint here. I'm going to pull that baby down. Oops. I'm going to pull this baby up. And as a result, there's my breakpoint, and there's my my kind of filter sweep. And so now it's going to sound like this. All right, and so now, as you can see, so you can get kind of creative and work inside your workflow of live this way. And the next beautiful thing that has been added with Live 9 is its ability to, instead of just doing straight lines, we're actually allowed to do curved automation now. And that's simply done by holding Option. And you see, as I hold Option over an automated line, it gives me the ability to do concave or convex lines. So a concave line is going to create a little sweep like this. And a convex line, oops, wrong button. Where's my Option? You can do some really interesting things with that. So every parameter that we can automate in any device can now be done inside of Session, which is going to work wonders for any instrument devices, whether native to Live or third-party instruments, and it's going to be great. The next thing I'm going to show you is something that's pretty interesting. It's something that I'm happy for, because I was finding that I had to either build devices using build kind of an effect rack using 2 of Ableton's, or maybe even 3 of Ableton's devices in order to do this. And now I don't really have to do that, because the use or the introduction of the new EQ8. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this EQ8 and I'm going to put it over these drums. So got those drums there, and we're going to just load up a version of EQ8. And you see EQ8 looks somewhat similar to what it looks before, but it has some beautiful new functionality to it. And the main thing that I'm going to touch upon is the fact that it actually has a spectrum behind it now. Right? So it has the ability to, it's still got the 8-band EQ, but now behind it you'll see the spectrums being showed, and I love that, especially in the mix down stage, or even when I'm cleaning up stuff as I'm working on a track. And you still have your 8 bands, and you can see I can select this, and we can go to pretty hard curve, to get to cut off a lot of the low end, and 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 as you're going, you still have the spectrum behind it to assist you. And if you need help, you can actually double click it. And you can actually see, as I'm working on this, you could see the audio being affected behind in the spectrum, and which is great. And I'm a big fan of. I was a big fan of Synopsys EQs for this exact purpose, and this is definitely gonna bring me back to EQing inside Live. And so, obviously, I think that's a great addition to Live's family. And along with another new addition is, while we're in the devices, we'll go to the brand new compressor that's here, which is called the glue compressor. So you're going to find that alphabetically, boom, right here. And you can see it's got a bunch of nice presets started for it. And the glue compressor, again, we'll put over this. We'll do a little EQing and compression there. And this is a great compressor. It's a partner project with Cytomic. And as you can see, as we lay this on something, you can do some great things with it. And so this is a great addition to the family. And there's also sidechain options, as with Live's other compressor and other devices, such as the auto filter, the gate, and the auto filter, gate, and compressor. Yeah. So and this is a compressor that's still part of it as well. And you can see Live still has its classic legacy compressor as well. And the one other brand new thing inside of Live that we have to talk about, and something that I love, is that it comes stock with Max for Live now. So Max for Live is no longer an add-on. With Live 9, you have the ability to take all the parts or all the devices that Max for Live has and have them at your disposal, whether you're developing your own or utilizing ones that other people have made. So it's going to be a great marriage. I think having this with this, and the creativity is just going to go off the chain. The last two new functionalities for Live 9 that we're going to talk about today are pretty, interesting ones. One's called Consolidate to new time scene, or Consolidate to new scene. And what that means is, with Live 9 now, we have the ability to do some really interesting things where we can jam. We can jam in any way we like and play around with things, and then we could take that certain amount of time and actually bring that back in to see how it sounds. So for example, here's a simple example of it, and I certainly haven't gotten too deep into this yet to see all the possibilities of it, but I'm looking forward to see what can happen. So in this case, what I'm going to do, oops, sorry, I cut myself off there. What I'm going to do is actually, you can see I have something here. I've actually recorded this in, so we'll use this. And it's neat where the new back to arrangements are right here, and as opposed to up here. So you're going to see here that I have some automation in here. And what I've actually done is just done a simple thing where I've taken my audio and sent it to a simple delay and reverb on a return track. So you're going to see here that it's going to sound. So you can hear that. Oh, you can hear the big tail on that reverb, right? So let's say maybe I want to try something that I didn't think I was going to do, but we'll see what happens. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the hit of that. So from here, I'll loop this just to see what it sounds like. And you can see, so I'm getting the hit of the little drony arrow right there, and kind of starting off here at the one with a nice little reverby type situation. So now what I could do, I can flatten out this a little bit if I want. Maybe we'll just leave it like that. And now what I can do is I could take this and right click, and I could take this all, and there we go. And we're going to consolidate time to new scene. And what it's going to do is going to take this little jam session type thing that we did here, which is very simple and somewhat accidental, but that's the beauty of this music. So I can bounce it out there, and you can see it comes in here as a new scene. Now as I play this one, and you can see now there's automation on this one send, on this one send, and you can actually start like so. So if we play these together, we're getting these kind of creative ideas with it. And as simple as just sending it, telling it to slice to send to a new scene, you're getting some really interesting results, right? Ones that you might not even think you could have had before, but you do now. And as you can see, there's a back to arrangement there as well. And again, I'm completely in awe with with this feature. Actually, even more now after having that happy accident. And there'll be lots more to come for sure with live. Last thing I'm going to show you today is the groove pool. And we've always had the groove pool, and it's down in this corner here. So there's our groove pool. But what we have the ability to do now is to actually preview what those grooves sound like. So for example, so now I can actually preview what's here and lay it onto something. So let's say I have this, we're just going to play this again. Excuse me, I got to get this out of here for right now. We won't worry about arrangement right now. And okay, and now what I can do, let's go down, and I like these. Okay, so I can load this onto here, and now as you can see, it's added a bunch of groove to it, and the beauty of MIDI and audio is committing, and you can actually see what happens, and I think that's so beautiful for, I keep saying beautiful today, and but you could see what how the groove actually worked to kind of move things around on, you know, all these different levels here, timing, randomization, velocity, and yeah, so pretty much that's Ableton Live 9 for me for now, and I'm looking forward to getting deeper and deeper into this. I've had so many projects that are still in Live 8 that I haven't got fully into Live 9 yet, and kind of shame on me, but I have some big projects on the go with some pretty big record labels that I'm happy about, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, I hope I can be certified, and I look forward to getting pushed, and I look forward to pushing Ableton more to everybody that I've come across. I feel like I'm one of the more active ones, certainly in my area, in the Windsor area, but with interest in Detroit, and I'm hoping actually to when I solidify things with Minus, I'm hoping to actually bring Ableton around with me to the various places I go, and to actually play shows, but then also offer Ableton workshops as well, hopefully throughout the world. So thank you again, and I look forward to hearing from you.